We starting?
Starting. Let's see if it's working. All right, yep, everything's good. So, this is the first episode of the Cheiftain Chats Podcast with the host Mariano Suarez and Braden Healy.
So,
Today we have our first guest, Sepe and Jaina Yekelchik. Say what's up, guys.
How we doing?
Today we're going to do an episode more geared towards Pontiac basketball. We got our two basketball stars here today. Both led the teams in points. Pretty sure, Jaina, you led your team in assists too as well, right?
Yep.
Steals as well?
I don't know about steals, but I think it was either me or Anna up for steals.
Okay. So, if you guys did not know, Jaina is the Gatorade Player of the Year this year, first in our school history. 4-year varsity player, one-time state champ, one-time Division II champ, 3-time first-team All-State, 1,000-point scorer, dual sport athlete, 3.0 GPA, and a multitude of out-of-school commitments that she does very, very well.
and then we're here with Jay Sepe as well, a 3-year varsity player, state champ runner-up in 2022, and RNI's legend. Had to tag that on. And he's going to be attending Bryant University as a walk-on, and he's the first Division I basketball player in our school's history for boys.
So, Jaina, you're going to Rick, right?
Yeah.
So, how did that whole process go? Did the coach reach out to you when?
Yeah. Well, so she knew me from like freshman year, but you can't really reach out. Like it's kind of
Yeah.
But I
Obviously.
would always go to like her camps and stuff, and she's just known me ever since. So I decided to go to Rick because like that like bond that we had. I've known her all 4 years. She's come to almost every single game. So.
And are you close? Like, do you know any of the other girls on the Rick team? Because I know a bunch of them come from other schools in Rhode Island.
Yeah. I've played against like I think a couple of them when I was like a couple of years ago, and I've gone on like a bunch of visits too, like over the course of the 4 years, and they've always been like so welcoming and stuff. Like they take me out, we'll do whatever, and it's just like a really like welcoming environment.
And then Jay, so you committed or not committed yet to Bryant?
In the works, but 99% committed. Pretty
99%
soon.
committed.
Yep, stay tuned.
And then you are walking on, obviously. Not many people walk on. Have you talked to anybody that's walked on that sort of like motivated you to do the same?
Yeah, so I had a long chat with my guy Timmy Kiggins. Shout out to Timmy Kiggins, great guy. So basically I met him in the summer, and I've been talking to him, of course, about that, and he's been 5 years there, I think. And, he said he just loved every second of it, And, yeah, so I've been talking to him a lot. He's been helping me a lot with the process. So, yeah.
Have you met with the head coach yet or anything like that?
Of course, yeah. So, Coach Phil, that's my guy, too. We met in the summer. So the first time I actually went to Bryant was at a camp. It was like a invite-only camp in the summer, which I actually showed up late, too, which was a funny story. But, yeah, so I played pretty good there. I talked to Coach Phil about being a walk-on after with the help of one of my AAU coaches, Todd French. And, yeah, since then, that's kind of been the process.
Now, Todd French, I heard him say, I'm pretty sure he said he played at Bryant, right? Or something like that. Did he? Like what is up with that?
No. I heard Todd was a point guard in high school, but, I think Todd's a CCRI legend. Yep.
Because I remember he told us that story about getting the door, like, shut in his...
No, that's CCRI.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right, and Jaina, you are obviously part of a very dominant girls basketball team for 4 years, and you were varsity as a freshman, right?
Yeah.
1,000 points, that's crazy, and Gatorade Player of the Year, which congratulations
Thank
first
you.
off.
Yeah, congratulations.
Thank you.
And so what was it like, first off, being part of that team, but also like playing on a team with such a fast style?
Yeah, it was a really big difference coming from middle school. Like in middle school, we're in like a stupid division. We were beating teams by 40, like just walking up the ball. It wasn't fun until playoffs. So then I got to high school. We were D2, and it was still like it's not as fast as D1. That was the biggest jump from the D2 to D1. But even as a freshman, it was during COVID. I was like the only freshman up on varsity, and there was no bonding at all because you can't do anything outside of the practices. So I was just so scared my freshman year, and then sophomore year we learned that we were going up to D1, and we thought like it was gonna be like a rude awakening. Like we didn't think that it was gonna be anything special, and then we ended up winning the state championship that year, and like nobody thought we were going to, but it was just like I feel like it's just a lot faster pace in D1. It's a lot more competitive. There's no really any sucky teams really.
That's like one of the main things I wanted to talk to like both of you about today. One, because Coach completely switched our tempo of play from last year to this year, and then also watching like your games. I watched a couple of them. I went to a couple this year. Last night I was watching you guys last year play against Cranston West away, which was a really good game by the way. And then I noticed that you are someone who it looks like your energy on offense comes from your defense, like pushing the ball up really fast. And I saw that from you as well, sophomore year and junior year. So like I guess my main question for you, Jay, is like, how was that change? Like, do you think that it was hard? Was there something that you had to like overcome with like Coach Campbell or something like that?
Honestly, I think the switch, I mean, it was definitely something that we had to get used to as a team, but I thought for the players that we had our senior year and the way that we wanted to play, I thought it was the right decision by Coach. You know, I mean, my sophomore and junior year, we had a lot of different guys, especially sophomore year, so we had a lot of scores. You know, we were all about pushing the ball, you know, getting out in the fast breaks. We had Sal Bianca, we had Adam Bucci, me, Ryan Krupa, like a lot of scores. And but I think senior year was definitely the right call. Definitely played great defense. We really focused on defense and kind of on offense, just slowing things down, setting up the ball. You know, I think that was definitely the right move.
And then Jaina, like I said before, like one thing I noticed like straight off the bat when I turned on that Cranston West game was your energy on defense was like the highest out of anyone on the team. I saw you were guarding Liv TM, who I know is a great player. I only saw her hit like 2 threes the whole entire game. So would you say that's like a style of play for you individually, or more of like the girls' team as a whole, like playing really tough defense?
I feel like it's a team thing because especially when we had Campbell, she was like our big. We had Ella. Whenever they got the rebound, we were up, like we were going right away because we knew that we were faster than a lot of teams and we were more in shape than a lot of teams in the league. So I think our best way, like when we're getting fast breaks and when we're getting steals, that's the easiest way to get points.
And then also, what was it like transitioning from last year's team into this year's team with a lot younger and a smaller, kind of a small ball group?
Yeah, it was tough at first. We lost 3 out of our starters.
Yeah, we have written down Ella, Emily, Alicia, all the sides.
Ella moved, Gianna switched to track, and Julia graduated. And those are like our 3, like our starting 5. They were all scorers. All 3 of them were like leading.
Yeah, Gianna switched to track.
Yeah, she didn't even play this year.
Because she's commit to Brown for throwing.
Yep.
Oh my gosh, so she didn't play this year?
Yeah. So we in the same year we lost Julia, Gianna, and Ella. And if them 2 came back, we would have. Yeah. It would have been insane. Like, oh my god.
I have that written down for both of you as well, though. Like, becoming the number 1 scoring option this year for your team.
Yeah.
So, like, how was that? I mean, I know for Jay, it was probably like a little more obvious. Like, no offense to the rest of us on the team, but it was a little more obvious that coming into our senior year, we were gonna give Jay 20, 30 shots a game, however much we could. And I think maybe for the girls' team, it wasn't as much expected that you were gonna get such a heavy workload, like with the personnel that you guys had. So, like, how was that, like, during the season? Like, did you enjoy having that much attention on you? Like, maybe probably getting the box in 1 put on you most games. Like, how was that?
Yeah, I did and I didn't, because then when you're getting face guarded all game, it's like the most petty thing of all time. And so, like, last year, like, we really relied on Ella a lot, like offensive rebounds, putbacks, and ones, everything. Julia was like the best 3-point shooter on the team. So I think a lot of, even like our coach said it, a lot of coaches were saying like, oh, what are you guys going to do this year? You don't have your main rebounder, your main scorer. So he said in the beginning of the year, like, one of you guys needs to step up. So I think a lot of girls like knew that like that's how we were, like that's what we needed to do. But we needed to share the ball more. We knew we needed to drive more, and we knew that a lot of it had to come from defense because we didn't have many assets on offense.
Mm.
But with the change in play style, you guys also had a lot of key players step up this year, especially a lot of the young ones. Like we got Paige, Anna, Riley written down here.
Yeah, they really stepped up. Anna she was like our sixth man last year, and she went from being sixth man to staying in almost the whole game. And she guarded the other team's best girl every single time, and she was one of our leaders in scoring too. And then we had Paige and Riley step up a lot too, because they last year they'd get in a little bit, but this year they really stepped up. And then even Caroline and Kylie, we didn't have a post player, and they stepped up too, getting all the rebounds and charges and everything.
So for Jay, we have something similar for you. This year, obviously, we saw, at least because I was on the team. I think a big reason why we had, I would say we might have not maybe had more success than we thought we would, but not to doom and shit on our team. We probably had just the amount of success that we all expected at the end of the day.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, but what do you think helped us? Do you think? I think one of the biggest impacts to help us get there was having Leighton step up huge, and mostly biggest step up I'd seen, did not expect it, was from X.
Yeah.
Bro just gained the biggest attitude out of nowhere.
Yeah, no.
So how did that at least help your game?
Bubble up a little bit junior year though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But not nearly to the way that
for you guys that are listening, we had an AAU team before the season.
Yeah, we had an AAU team, so we had an AAU team, Pontiac Knights. It was really fun, but it was basically the whole high school team. Our coach Ryan Krupa, John Rambone. But yeah, it was a really fun season. But you could just see from the difference from X junior year and Leighton too. Leighton picked up way bigger of a scoring role. And X just completely came out of his shell. He was really a quiet kid, but he really came out and gave us a very good mentality, and honestly kind of gave us the face of the team, or the way that we would operate.
I can tell you just being 100% honest right now, at the closing meetings we had with coach, he asked me who I thought our most effective, strongest leader was, and I was X.
Yeah.
When he's on the court,
most definitely.
You could feel him on the court.
Yeah.
Everybody did.
Exactly. X changes our effort, he's that guy that you need on your team. Everyone needs an X on their team that's would go for every loose ball and just gives 110% to the game at all times,
And to be honest, that's X's defense, what I saw from you, which is even better if you're a coach, when you have one of your best scorers also being one of your best defenders.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I mean, I feel that a big part of just Pontiac basketball as a whole, which for some reason I wouldn't really expect. We're a school full of white kids that wouldn't expect us to play basketball. Yeah. I feel both of our teams relied mostly on defense.
Yeah, exactly. No, our team was definitely relied on defense. We relied on being, physical and, just slowing the ball down, making other teams work for their shots and stuff like that.
When I was watching the girls' game, one of the things I noticed is you guys do a lot of half-court man pressure. Mm-hmm. Is that something that you guys knew you were going to do going into the season, or is that something that you sort of just oh, this works, let's keep going, let's roll with it?
Yeah, we've always been a really strong man team, but I feel when you play D1 teams, you can't really just sit in a zone because they'll just shoot lights out. They don't care how far it is. A lot of girls will shoot and they don't care. So we always were really strong with the man, and we like doing half court sets. But a lot of the times we'll press too. Just if we're playing a team that likes to slow it down, we'll press them and try to speed up the game a little bit.
And one of the main things I wanted to talk about, just thinking about basketball, was when I this was probably the first episode that we planned, because we're both basketball players, we're both friends with you guys. This, we were just really excited for this episode. And one thing I was always I always thought because I would see you guys practice and stuff, is how is Mr. Martinelli actually as a coach?
He's great.
How is he?
No,
as a
he's
coach?
great. He's great. When you see him in school though, he's a really soft kind of guy. You can talk to him about anything. But when we're in the gym, when he's mad, he'll get mad. But I feel with age he's softened up a little bit. But he's a great coach.
Now, is there one tactic or one saying, because I know Coach Campbell has a ton of them, one saying that he'll use that the whole team could say it before he even does. Like, you know what I mean?
Whenever we're like playing really sluggish or like if we're trying to scrimmage and it just is a mess, he always says that we'd make him die. He could drop down dead at any moment. And he always says, "Oh, I'm 60, you know, I could die at any moment and this would make him die." He says it all the time.
So, like, would you say, like, Mr. Martinelli definitely elevated the game past what you guys thought you could, like,
Yeah,
as a coach?
definitely. Because, you know, when we went into the season, I'm going to be honest, not any of us really thought that we would be so successful because we depended so much on our starters last year.
Mm-hmm.
So, but he was always the first one to be like, you guys need to realize how good you actually are. And once you realize that, then you'll be able to prove it.
And then, so Jay, about to take a big step, college basketball. So, like, how are you feeling about to step into that process?
Yeah,
Both of you
yeah,
guys.
Yeah, definitely. So, honestly, you know, I'm really excited for the opportunity. Obviously, you know, I love basketball. I want to keep playing, but yeah, I'm really excited. I'm glad to have this opportunity. Obviously, I'd like to thank God for that, and yeah, you know, it's definitely going to be a very, very, very rude awakening for me. You know, I think one of the biggest problems with me was like my weight. Like, I've always been tall, but I'm kind of skinny. So, like, really this off season, gonna focus on putting on a lot of weight and just, you know, getting to the next step.
And then how about for you, Jaina?
I'm really excited about it. Just to be able to play an extra 4 years is, I didn't want it to end this year, so I'm really excited too. But even what Jason was saying, I'm not tall enough to do anything better than D3. Like, that's just the truth. I'm 5'4".
Yeah.
Even like shooting guards in D3, they're at least 5'6", 5'7". So it's just kind of, you got to deal with it.
Yeah.
But Rick is a very competitive school,
Yeah,
right?
they're nationally ranked. Last year they went to the Final Four. This year I think they lost in like the Sweet 16 or something. So very competitive program, but I'm excited for it.
Now, like, I'm assuming you guys probably don't plan on going to the NBA or anything.
No, definitely
So, like,
not.
what would be, like, what are you going to study and what would be, like, the ideal future after that?
You want to go first?
Yeah. So I'm gonna study education. I think I'm gonna do phys ed for the first 4 years, and then I want to go into special ed for my master's. So.
And I plan on obviously going to Bryant, do my first 4 years with a major in finance, and then also get my master's degree too. So, yeah, I'm planning on redshirting my first year of basketball, so I'm able to play that 5th year too.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
So now, like, I heard you said you want to be a teacher. Like, is there any, like, has that always been the plan? Has there been, like, teachers at Pontigansett that have, like, inspired you to do that? Like, I know Miss G is awesome. Like,
yeah, Miss G was a big impact on me. Even Miss Crins and Miss Stanton, they're, like, my go-tos for anything. I want to be able to be that kind of person for somebody.
Yeah.
And I wanted to get into teaching because I wanted to coach, and the easiest way to get a coaching job is to be in a school first.
So it sounds like you just want to be like one of those teachers that like actually makes school like enjoyable for people.
Yeah.
Which is perfect. I mean, I'd rather have more of those around here, to be honest. But like,
Do you want to come back to Pontigansett?
I don't know. I mean, so like with Rick, they got this deal going that it's like the Hope Scholarship. You need to commit to work at Rick. To work in Rhode Island for 2 years at least to get the last 2 years free. So you usually
pretty good deal, to be honest.
It is a good deal.
Yeah.
It's basically like CCRI, just like reversed.
Yeah.
But so I'll probably end up teaching in Rhode Island anyway. But I don't know where I'd end up.
And then Jed, how do you want to take that finance degree up?
Honestly,
One of these like food trucks with the boy over there.
nah, Papa Jim's grilled cheese. Maybe, we'll see. You never know. But no, honestly, I'm not really sure yet. I was thinking something like a financial advisor, or something along the lines of that. But that's still a long way down the road.
Like a hedge fund manager or something like that.
That's where that bag's at.
Yeah, maybe we'll see.
No, I heard that you said you wanted to coach, and I'm assuming that you want to coach at some point too. Like I know you already ref, and I know have you coached like the kids or whatever. Like
I mean, I've
hoops
coached the kids.
camp.
Honestly, I don't know if I could really do coaching, to be honest.
You don't think?
I feel like I'd be a terrible coach. Like I'm not smart enough, to be honest. But yeah, shout out to Coach Campbell. He was a great coach. I don't think I could do what he could do, especially with like all like the attitudes with the kids and stuff. Like I could not deal with that. I just don't have the patience to be
Let's actually talk about Coach Campbell real quick.
All right, yeah.
So like, have you ever talked to Coach Campbell before? Like,
Yeah, like here and there. Yeah.
yeah. literally probably like one of like the like, you know when someone's like, oh, he's just like a big teddy bear.
Yeah.
Like that's actually Coach
That's
Campbell.
Coach Campbell.
Like that's actually Coach Campbell. Like he'll bring us donuts sometimes. He'll
Yeah.
take his glass off. He'll be like, I actually do love you guys. But like you guys all are assholes.
Nah, the funny thing is with Coach Campbell is he'll just like let's say it's a bad day in practice and he'll just absolutely flip out on us, and then he'll like a couple minutes later, literally a couple minutes later, will come to his senses and like apologize to us all. He'll feel bad. Like I remember one time on the bus, I'm sure Leighton remembers this. We lost to Juanita Sanchez by 4 points. This was our junior year. It was like 74-70, and Gianluca dropped 40 points. Mike Stewart had like 25 points. So they were like excited about that after the win.
Think I had 2. Get me in there.
Yeah, I had 4 too. Not my best performance. But yeah, no, they definitely carried that game. But Coach Campbell comes in, absolutely pissed that we were like so happy, from that performance.
We were happy, by the way, because we played a good ass game. Like despite losing, we did play a good game.
We played a great game. And Coach Campbell was just like comes in, you guys think you played a great game, like all that, and was just flipping out on us. But
I remember I saw Gianluca like duck down.
Yeah,
in the back seat.
Gianluca
Like a
was
sad little
scared.
puppy.
Yeah, but then after the bus comes back to the bus, he's like, guys, I'm sorry. And it was just like, yeah, but
So it sounds like you both have great relationships with your coaches. I mean, do you think that helps you on the court, like at all,
Oh,
in any way?
definitely.
And like, what
Definitely.
ways would it
Yep.
help you?
most definitely. I think without Coach Campbell, I don't think we accomplish what we do. In our relationship with him, definitely. Coach Campbell, he really cared a lot about all of us. Like seriously, I know every coach says that,
Yeah.
but you can tell that he really does. I
Yeah.
mean, he cared about all of our opinions and stuff like that. Like throughout all the games, like asked us about what plays to do and like how we would like to play our basketball. And yeah, but it was just great having him as my coach for these past years.
And Coach Martinelli, he's always like he's giving us so much confidence like during the games too. Like he won't ever take you out for missing 5 shots in a
Yeah.
row. He'll take you out if you need like a mental break or for like you're just getting
like,
way
if you,
too
like-
frustrated.
Yeah, for like Coach Campbell, he would
Yeah.
pull us if we like fucked up a rotation on defense
Yeah.
or something
Yeah.
like that. So he'd be like that kind of.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It would never be like that. Like Coach Campbell would never take you out if you were like missing shots or anything like that. It would always be if you screwed up on defense. That's what it was for me.
Hello, Mr. Martinelli.
Guest appearance here. Come on.
Mr. Martinelli, guest appearance. Oh nope, he's gone.
Alistair appearance?
So we also got this game on. Florida Atlantic Northwestern March Madness time. Best time to watch basketball in the whole year, in my opinion, at
Oh, yeah.
least. College basketball is the best version, if you think of versions of
My
basketball.
bracket is already cooked.
Oh,
so.
screwed in the head.
Yeah.
I made 3 brackets. I had Kentucky in the Sweet 16 or
Right
Final
now,
Four in all of
oh.
them, or winning the championship in one of them.
Nah, matter of fact,
So
don't
shoot me
play.
in the
I
face.
have one good bracket.
Let me pull this up right now. No way, you still have a
Did you make any, Jana?
No,
or
it's not
No.
perfect. I don't know.
No,
Bro, I
I
had
did last year and
yeah.
I sucked at it.
I had
so.
Mississippi State on a run in every single bracket I made.
That's what
Leighton
had too.
Bro,
Why?
I thought they were nice.
why? I know they
Dude,
are.
I
I
They're
thought
Michigan
Rob
just-
State,
Dillingham was
bro.
Jesus, bro. I don't know what I was thinking.
Bro, I know.
Their point guard was playing like LA Fitness basketball. Bro. He was really just chucking whatever he felt like.
Oh man.
But besides that, hold up.
Look at this.
I got Oakland wrong, obviously.
Yeah.
But everything else is green.
0.038% of brackets remain out of
That's crazy.
22
Do you see
million.
Bijan Robinson has one of them?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's not even the second day of the first
Yeah,
round yet.
exactly. There's no way anyone's gonna get a perfect bracket. But
Bro, I remember last year I did a women's one, and I wasn't like 98% accurate
Yeah.
through the whole thing.
that's crazy.
All right, let's like reel it back in real quick. Another thing that we wanted to talk to you guys about, like, is where, like, I don't know, we talked about defense a little bit, but like where you actually play on defense, like where you play well. Like Jay, I noticed you looked your most comfortable when you played the top of the 1-3-1.
Yeah. Yeah, no, definitely. I like the top of the 1-3-1 because I feel like I'm good at predicting the passes, passing lanes, and stuff like that. And I'm lengthy, so I'm pretty good at that. And yeah, honestly, for the wings and playing down low,
I had
was
never
alright.
played a 1-3-1
Yeah.
before this year in my life, and I was injured when he put it in. So he was like, "Yo, just go play a 1-3-1." When I got back to practice,
Yeah.
I was screwed in the head.
No, the rotation
But-
sometimes can be hard for that, but that's why I like to just stay up top.
And then Jaina, honestly, I didn't see you guys play that much zone like at all. Maybe
yeah, we
like
never do.
maybe like one play at a
Mhm.
time, but that's it. It looks like they like literally would just stick you on the best player and be like, please just like shut this
Yep.
girl down. Like,
yeah,
is that,
they would always like rotate me and Anna, like to give us each of us
Breaks,
a break. Yeah. Yeah, we'll just like if I'm not guarding the first one, I'll be guarding the second best player, and then vice versa. We
Mhm.
always just switch so we make sure that because we usually stay in for a long time, so he's giving us breaks that
Yeah.
way.
Do you prefer to guard that top dog? Like, do you feed off that energy, or
Yeah.
is it sometimes like, Anna, please come get her?
I mean, Anna locks up. Like she doesn't care. These girls get so mad at Anna. They're
Really?
shoved because she's just a pest. Like I'd be annoyed too if Anna was guarding me. But like sometimes if I'm like gassed, I'll tell Anna, I'm like,
it seems
you gotta
like
do it.
Anna's got like
Anna
a
has
motor on
so
her.
much
Yeah.
endurance. It's
That job's
insane.
not for me.
Yeah,
That's-
she's crazy.
that's
Like
like-
I know she plays soccer.
It sounds
Yep.
like it sounds like Anna's like the X of our
yeah,
team.
yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Like she's got a motor.
Yeah,
Like that's
yeah.
all.
Mhm.
That's like X. It never gets tired. But X and Peter G would always guard the best players.
Actually, yeah, we haven't really talked about Peter G that much. Or like, how about did you guys have like sort of like a captain that was like just vocal? Like their main attribute was just being vocal on the court. Like
Mhm.
they wouldn't have that much stats in the stat book, but they were like the leader of the team. Did you guys have a player like that this
Yeah,
year?
I think all 5 of our seniors really stepped up with the direction because, like, Mr. Martinelli says it all the time. Like, even though we just have one sole captain, it doesn't mean that any
Yeah.
other girls with experience can't speak up.
Yeah, because I know
So-
like at least in school, like Riley and Paige and Caroline will come across a little more quiet.
Yeah.
You know, so like, does that translate to the court? Like, not at all.
I mean, they have a different way of going about it. They won't be the type to, like, yell at you and, like, tug you to get into the right spot. They'll tell you, like, on, like, a dead ball or something, like, they'll always give direction. Even if, like, you're having an off game, they're always the ones to pick you up, especially with the young girls that we had on the team this year. They really helped them step up.
Yeah, and going for Peter, I mean Peter G. If you were on the team, you definitely know. He was definitely that vocal guy for us, and like I would say like the real captain like of
Oh
the team.
yeah,
like,
yeah, 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 yeah. Like
definitely.
I know what you mean by that.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Yeah, like it was me and Peter that was the captains, but like he was the real captain, like gave people the direction. And honestly, I give him credit. It's a hard job because he really pushed people, and you know sometimes like people didn't like it. Like even sometimes like he would be yelling at me, and I'd be like, all right, bro,
Yeah. Yeah.
just fuck off, like please.
Yeah.
But it's like it's something that you need. Like Peter was making sure everyone's always locked in and in check, and like you may not like it in the moment, but
Yeah.
it's what the team needed. You know what I'm saying? And he took that role very well. So
No, like I mean, neither team like made it that far in the playoffs. I mean, you guys made it farther than us. What's like something that you think you could have done better? There, like either throughout the season or like just like in that moment of the playoff game that you think
I
lost you the
think
game.
I think it came down to closing out games. Because when we went to the Open tournament, we lost to Bayview by a basket.
1 point. Yeah, you guys had a lot of
And-
close games.
We had so many close. A lot of our losses were within 5 points.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of an issue for us all year, like starting out like games good or halves good. It
You-
never seemed like it was the both of them.
Do you think that has to do with the experience of like a newer team?
I think it has something to do with it. I mean, we have like veterans on the team, but even like just having like the freshmen come in, they don't really know what D1 is like, especially like I said earlier, the jump from
Yeah,
middle
coming
school,
from-
not even just D2, from middle school to D1 varsity basketball. You're 14 playing against 18-year-olds. It's a lot to like deal with, but we got better as the season went on with closing out. But
What do you think was like our like poison at the end of the day?
Um,
Because I have my like I think I know
Alright,
what it is.
alright,
I just
yeah,
want to know
yeah.
what you think.
All right, I want to hear your opinion after, but
Yeah.
I think if we're talking about the one game that we lost to against Juanita Sanchez, I think the thing is when we played Mount St. Charles, that was the first round of the playoffs, and then this one was the quarterfinals after that. The thing is with Mount St. Charles is we came out with so much energy, and we came in like we were gonna win, and we had defensive intensity, most energy we've ever had. Like that game was crazy, and we all just played as one unit, played very well, and played very confident. And I think that was the difference between that game and the Juanita Sanchez game. I think the Juanita Sanchez game, especially the first quarter, we came out very flat. You know, we had no defensive energy, no confidence, you know, and we came into that game bad. And I think that first quarter, that first half was not good for us.
Mm-hmm. I think, like, literally, like, you could see it in the because if you watch the game, I think one play that demonstrates why we lost the game is literally that Kyle Dell's dunk at the end of the game. Why? I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name names. Why did he not foul him? You know who I'm talking about?
No. Oh, okay.
Literally watched Kyle Delbs dribble down the court and dunk on us for his 30th point.
I think at that
embarrassing.
point, I think about that point the game was like already over though. Like that was just the nail in the coffin.
Yeah, but I feel like that just showed our intensity. Like,
oh yeah,
you know what I mean?
Like, yeah, definitely. But I think another like bad like a dry spell for us was kind of like halfway through the season. It was kind of more towards the end of the season. Coach Campbell had to leave out of state for family reasons, but he was gone for like a week and a half, and that really just took the energy out of us. You know, Coach Campbell brings the energy in practice, and Coach Rowe, a very good coach too, but we need both of them, and there were a lot of important games that he missed because of that. Obviously not his fault, but like Prout, we lost by 3 points on a buzzer beater, which that we definitely should have won that game. That was a very winnable game. Central Falls, we lost I think 5 points or 7 points. That was a very winnable game too. And a game with Juanita Sanchez too, which came down to the wire. It was like 4 points entering the fourth quarter, but we didn't finish that one out either. So that was like a very dry spell for us during the season.
Yeah. And then aside from head coaching, the assistant coaches this year, obviously you said Coach Rowe, and then the other Coach Campbell, and then your assistant coach is
Jim
Jake,
Field.
right?
We got Jim Field, which is Kylie's dad. We got Coach Dave. He's our JV coach. We got Francesca, and then we got Coach Jake.
So yeah, I just wrote Coach Jake on there
Love
because Coach Jake is
Jake.
the man.
Plus, I know who
He does everything for us.
Wait, which one is Coach Jake? Is he like the ball boy that I see putting the rack in?
He's always got the equipment. He's like our hype guy.
Yep.
All right.
Because he coaches boys basketball in the fall, girls
soccer.
Yeah, I mean boys soccer in the fall, girls basketball in the winter, and then girls softball or only girls softball. I'm talking about, but
overall, what was the impact like for you guys and the experience with them?
So Coach Rowe was definitely, he brought the energy every practice. You know, making sure all of us are here mentally and all of us are putting in effort like it's a game. You know, and he was another great like basketball mind that we had to talk through strategy and stuff. What is he doing?
I don't know.
Someone's
Guest appearance real quick.
Oh, this guy.
What was I saying? Oh yeah, about Coach Rowe. So yeah, that was Coach Rowe.
And he was nasty in his day too. He's out
Coach
up
Rowe
on the
actually.
banner.
A lot of people don't know this. Coach Rowe was the leader in. No. Yeah, but that wasn't Coach Rowe. But Coach Rowe won a state championship in like '92, I think.
For Pontiac?
Yeah,
1472.
Yeah.
How did I not know? How do you know that?
Because Coach Jim played with Coach Rowe. They were like high school best friends.
Bro, what?
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if it was like 19.
They came back.
It was somewhere like
43.
Yeah.
Yo.
Nah, it was somewhere like 80s, 90s. But yeah, Coach Rowe was a dog.
Yo, their coach would definitely go up to Coach Rowe and be like, "Yo, you fucking suck. 0 chips."
No, but yeah, Coach Rowe, like you could see like the Coach Rowe like in practice, like he would even hop in with us sometimes. Like he'd be diving on the floor, you know, like stuff like that.
You could tell he was just like a dog.
You could tell he was a hooper back in the day. Especially he got the mid-range jumper down to perfection. What just happened in the game?
And he's got that like Bob Cousy dribble package.
Oh yeah. Yeah, nah, he's got the old school game. And then we had Coach Campbell too, Coach Campbell Jr., who
What a
was
guy.
great guy, definitely. But yeah, he was a JV coach, but he would help out with us a lot, like especially during the games and on the bench, with a lot of things that he notices. And he was a younger player. He played at Worcester State, so
It's nice having that perspective.
Yeah, it's nice having like a young perspective.
Yep.
Because because like he knows like what a lot of the players are thinking out there and stuff like that. So yeah, he was very good too for us. Yeah, shout out to Coach Campbell Jr.
Luka Doncic.
Yeah, Luka Doncic.
So Coach Jim, he played, like we said, like he was good back in high school too, but he's been coaching with Mr. Martinelli for a while. And he's seen like every class. Like he coached my sister, he coached like all these girls that I knew, like that I grew up with. He's been my coach since we were like doing like 3rd grade travel. So I had that connection with him like going into high school. He was like the person I was like the most comfortable with when I was like scared of Mr. Martinelli. And then Francesca, she's like kind of like the mom of the team. She's like our only girl coach, so we go to her for everything. And Dave's the JV coach. Dave is just Dave. Like there's really no way to explain him. And then Coach Jake is he's just the sweetest.
Guy.
He gives us like gifts and stuff, like Valentine's Day gifts. He wrote us all a card. Christmas gifts, he does that too. He's just like our hype guy. Everywhere he goes, they win. He went to Johnston, got them a state championship, went to here, got us a state championship. It's like he's like the good luck charm.
Here, he's not
Good
leaving
luck charm.
anymore.
There you go.
And that girl
Tell
coach you
Campbell
had,
pick him up.
her name was
Francesca.
Coach Francesca. Did she go here or
No,
like,
she went to Bayview.
Oh, and she's just like,
Stops, what?
is she like a teacher or like a coach or something that's just helping out here? Like, what's her connection like to Ponta Games?
Her uncle is like really good friends with our coach, so they kind of like already knew each other. But yeah, she just came on, I think, my sophomore year, or no, I think she was there my freshman year. So yeah, we're just like really tight with her because she's like the most we can relate to.
She looks like she played in college or something like
Yeah,
that.
she went to Simmons in like New York.
That was like the
something.
same with Coach Campbell Jr. Like we could relate to him
Yeah.
the most because he was like obviously the most similar in age to us.
And also, like, having a coach that, like, you knew play basketball.
Exactly.
And,
yeah.
like, you watch him, like, cook your ass.
Yeah.
It's like, all right,
Yeah,
this
no,
guy,
Coach
this
Jim
guy knows what he's
kills
talking
us in
about.
practice.
Like, I don't know about Coach Jim, but I know that when I was on the team and Coach Rowe was in practice, like, he would dog you. He would dog you out.
The
Like-
3v3 tournament this year.
Yeah, you should have seen.
Yeah,
this.
the
It was, like,
3v3 tournament
one
this
time
year.
we had like a practice.
My
for
team,
fun.
it was me,
Yeah.
Coach Campbell, and Coach Rowe on a team.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
And we went to the finals.
Yeah, they literally. I think you guys won. Right?
No, we lost. We
Oh,
lost by
in
1
the
point.
finals. Yeah.
Because fucking, you guys won't know this kid at home, but we call him Steph Curry. Steph
Oh,
Curry,
yeah,
unfortunately, had to check into the game.
Yeah. Oh man.
Oh, he's
Steph
a
Curry.
freshman this year.
JV player.
JV
Yeah,
player.
He's a dog.
He's a character.
Yeah, definitely.
Ooh.
Yeah, I remember that.
I'm not liking this, bro.
Yeah, I
you
know.
mean?
man.
No,
What,
I had Northwestern winning.
Did you bet on FAU?
Hell no.
Yep.
I was gonna bet on FAU. I'm kind of glad I didn't know.
I feel like FAU is just like never heard of it before this year.
No,
I
like,
think
remember
half-
last
last
year
I know,
they went
but
until
like,
that run.
but like half of like I feel like Rhode Island is applying to FAU to go to college. Like
Yeah,
our
that's
grade,
crazy.
like they're all trying to go to FAU.
What does FAU even mean?
Florida.
Oh, Florida
Atlantic.
Atlantic. Florida Atlantic.
Where in
I'm
Florida
lost.
is it?
I don't know, but it seems like
We'll go pass. Hey, Brian beat Florida Atlantic this year, so
Really?
yeah, they were 10th in the country, and Brian beat them at their place.
oh my god, yeah, I remember that. I remember
Yeah.
seeing that.
Remember Bryant made that little March Madness run when they had
Peter Kiss.
Peter Kiss.
Peter Kiss. Yep. Yeah.
What happened to him?
I think he's playing overseas right now. I'm not really sure.
That
It was
guy
like
was a
he was
character,
he
bro.
was one of like the
He just
15-year
airballed
COVID
them.
seniors.
yeah, exactly. He was one of those. Yeah, I think he was like 25 playing at the time. But yeah, that's another thing with college basketball is like I'm going from high school to playing against grown men.
I think that shit's crazy. Like,
Yeah.
like I don't know if like our team, like any of our other teammates have thought about this or anyone else in our school, but like you could literally be playing there next year. Like,
Yeah.
like a Bryant, because like Bryant's like their division's okay. Bryant usually makes
Yeah.
runs in the tournament,
like, actually,
right?
right now, from Bryant's conference, which is the America East, when you win the championship, I don't know how it works. I don't know if it's best record or championship.
No, if you win the championship, you automatically go to
Yeah.
March Madness for
So-
any division.
Yeah, so this is Vermont for Bryant's in the America East. They won, and now they're playing Duke first round. So like that, if
Yeah.
Bryant beat Vermont, like,
Yeah, they'd be playing-
basically we
yeah,
would have been playing
Duke
Duke.
first round. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Is Brian in the NIT?
No, I don't think so. Yeah.
So now, like for like girls, I know like are like Rick's D3, but like do they have like a March? They still have like the national like March Madness
Yeah,
style
they
tournament.
still do the NCAA tournament. It's just
like,
only with D3
Yeah,
teams,
yeah,
but
yeah.
they still go to like the same places as them.
Yeah.
I think last year was like Texas or something.
Well, that's actually
So,
kind of fire.
Yeah.
Now, is there like were there other options for you like besides Rick, or was that always the main choice?
I mean,
I know we're switching back to college randomly, but like just sort of came up.
I think I always like knew I was gonna go to Rick because of the relationship that I had with the coach. But that started my freshman year, and all 4 years I've gotten all like D3 looks, like offers, just like locally, I got Eastern Connecticut, Roger Williams. Western New England, Bridgewater.
Because like what I picture is like you just get like a random number pop up on your phone, your answer, and they're like,
honestly, that's actually how it is.
Like,
that's exactly how it goes.
Like that's actually how it is.
They'll just text you.
Like they don't like for something I was thinking like maybe they like go through like the AD, like maybe like Mr. Joyce would call you to his office and then it'd be like a whole thing. A
lot of it's through AAU. Like they'll see you at like an AAU tournament, and then they see your contact information. They'll be like, hey, this is coach, and then they just text you.
That's gonna be the next topic. AAU. So I know you played for the Knights.
Yeah.
Did you play for the Breakers?
Breakers,
yeah. So I remember when I played in middle school, I had like the 3 best kids in my team all played for the Breakers. Like what is the Breakers? I feel like because when we played the Knights, we really didn't see any Breakers teams. Is it like
back in
higher?
middle school.
I used to see them a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I mean though. Like that's what I mean.
Playing all the time.
I feel like they're like.
Yeah.
What is it like?
I always felt like the girls program was more like well known than the guys, but it's like
I haven't seen a Breakers guys team.
It's the oldest like AAU organization for even for girls.
Yeah.
But it's not like I don't know if it's the same thing for guys, but like for girls it's like the really expensive ones where you get like D1 looks regardless.
It's
like
$3,000
Bay State, MCW, Stars. We weren't like that. Like we didn't do really any far tournaments. I think the farthest we went was like Virginia, and that was like once. We did a lot of local stuff.
I feel like for the guys that's like BCRI.
Yeah.
BCRI.
Expressions, right?
Right now, Middlesex too.
Yeah, even
Middlesex
I used to
play.
I played Middlesex Magic, I think my 8th grade year.
Yeah.
And then
still got the shorts on them.
Yeah, always. Still got the Middlesex Magic shorts. Yeah. But yeah, one thing about AAU, that was actually how I met the Riviere coach Bruce. He came to one of my games and then just texted me after. So like that's just how it is sometimes. Like
really?
Sometimes you just get a random text. Yeah.
Jesus.
Yeah.
That's like crazy. Like I don't play sport. Like I kind of play sports for fun. Like it's crazy that like when we were at AAU tournaments this summer and like obviously when you were there too. Like were you actively thinking like whoa like there's coaches watching me right now, or you were just like let's just go have fun? Because like for me I'm just like.
Like if you know you're at a showcase, you got to be like, okay, you don't really know who's coaching. Sometimes you can't tell like if they are a coach or not, and you don't know what division too. So like you kind of just need to play like without really thinking about it, but knowing like you need to be like on your best behavior and game.
Yeah. Honestly, for me, unless I'm at like a showcase, like a big event, like one of those big tournaments, like New Jersey, like Atlantic City, like something like that, I'm really not thinking about it at all. Like, especially the circumstance I was talking about too. I didn't know. I was just playing.
Yeah.
So.
And do you think it's better like that when you're just going out there just having fun, or would you rather know and turn it on?
I don't know. I feel like sometimes it's better to not know and just play your game, but at the same time, like, so I'd say for AAU sometimes it's like you're not like. I wouldn't say you're not playing at 110%, but it's like.
Well, you got more games in the day, so it's like, let me say
exactly, yeah. Like AAU is like sometimes you'll have 3 games in one day, so it's like it'll be a long day, but if you know that coaches are watching you, you definitely gotta turn it up. But yeah, not really a lot of my game changed, like with coaches being there in attendance.
And during your AAU and high school time, have either of you guys ever gotten a tech?
Because you both like come across as like such like quiet, like nice players, like shaking hands after the game. Like you guys have played for a long time, so it's inevitable.
No,
like
definitely.
It's inevitable for everybody.
I've gotten some texts in my time.
Tell us about like the funniest one, like the one you like either like the most like bullshit or like one where you just like went off the rails and like you deserved it.
Honestly, I never had anything where I've done crazy. Like I never get like too mad or too happy. One time, trying to think of the funniest one. I don't really, like, I've been complaining about calls and get a tech, stuff like that. I think one time I threw a ball at a kid and got yeah, but other than that, I don't really be getting texts like that.
Yeah, I've never gotten a tech.
That does not.
No.
Actually, that doesn't surprise me at
Never
all.
gotten a tech
Never
once.
gotten a tech. I don't even know if I've gotten a warning before. Cause,
Really?
That's
There's
crazy.
no way.
Mr. Martinelli, he will bench us if we even look at the ref the wrong way, if we say anything to the ref. That's the one
But
thing.
honestly, that's one thing I wish
he'll
our
get
coach
really
did more
mad
of, because
about.
that screwed us so many
we
times.
can't have an attitude
Yeah,
at all,
sometimes they'll
ever.
screw us with the attitude. Sometimes I'll get a warning for like talking trash, but
But again, our coach, I'm assuming Mr. Martin like asked you guys the same thing. He's like nice enough guy. Like he does he knows like he needs to ask you guys like how he did at the end of the season to like make himself better.
Yep.
Like which is basically exactly what Coach Campbell asked us. And really the only thing that I said was I was like, yeah, like everyone like this year for us everyone had an attitude and it wasn't really managed. I don't think quick enough because I feel like one person would do something, the whole team would watch it, and then everyone would just think it's fine.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the main things that killed us too.
Yeah.
But just were there any the attitudes like that on the girls team? Because I know we're guys, we've got the egos.
Yeah, no,
fucking
we
highs
never.
ever,
I don't even
playing
think we have
basketball.
any egos on the team either. We're not the type. We play teams and you can tell they don't get along outside of basketball. They'll be screaming at each other, blaming everything on each other. We have never done that. I don't think even in my 4 years, I've never had to deal with anybody being like, oh, like that's your fault. No one has ever done that. We've always been like a positive culture, and instead of getting mad at somebody, we pick them up. If they're having a bad game, we pick them up.
Yeah, I think for us, definitely one thing that helped for us, and I think one of the reasons that we would get I wouldn't say mad at each other, but we would argue with each other is because all of us were really passionate about the game. We all wanted to win, but at the end of the day, I think we were all really good friends, and that helped us a lot.
I think we became great friends this year, all of us.
Yeah, all of us, even at your house.
Yeah.
Braden's house after the games, order pizza and chill out there. Went out to dinner all the time.
Yeah.
And just stuff like that, just hanging out together. Always joking around with each other. But that happened, that also made us really transparent with each other, which, obviously leads to some arguments and disagreements on the court. But it's all because we wanted to win, But at the end of the day, we were picking each other up too. I remember I've missed game winners, and, a lot of people just were there to pick me up. So,
And then I think I don't know, I just thought of this just popped into my head. I just kind of want to talk about him because I kind of feel like shit about what he's going through right now. Peter P.
Oh, yeah.
Swish King.
Yeah.
You guys don't know. He's going through some health problems right now. He hasn't been in school in a minute. I don't want to say too much on this, but probably one of the most passionate guys on our whole team.
Oh, yeah.
He loves basketball
Yep.
more than anybody that I know.
And honestly, probably the nicest kid on the team, too.
Yeah,
definitely. I'm not going to disclose any information about what he's going through. It's not my place, but he's been battling some sickness or illness. But yeah, even stuff like this, this is one of our teammates, going down. He's in the hospital right now, and Leighton and I, a lot of kids from the team have gone and visited him. He's coming home this Saturday. We're all the season's over, and we're still all going to support our teammates.
We're going
and
to
stuff
his
like
house,
that.
watch the games.
Going to his house, watch March Madness, just stuff like that. Going to visit him, it's just stuff like that. Even after the season, we're still being teammates and friends.
if anyone, there was to do that for, it'd be Swish King.
Exactly.
He's just the nicest guy
Just
on
the
planet.
nicest kid ever. Yeah.
Has there ever been anything like that, for you guys, someone on the girls' team, really shitty happened, but at the end of the day, it brought you guys closer together, past just basketball?
Yeah. There's been a couple instances where girls will have something going on in their family or something like that, and even if our coach is not giving us details, we know we need to reach out.
Yeah.
We know we need to be there for them because it's a hard time.
Yeah, sometimes obviously stuff is bigger than playing basketball after school.
Yeah.
Which you gotta I feel that's one thing that the some D1 boys teams, even college teams, it's just all basketball all the time. And that's one thing that you guys are gonna be doing next year. So is that one thing that you have to like actively mentally prepare yourself for like making, I mean, if it wasn't already, but considering basketball like your actual like number one job, like having like the 2-a-days, like the films, like
Yeah.
how is like, have you like thought of it, given that like thought, like thought process yet?
Honestly, that's been like my main thought, is just like how I'm gonna adjust to. I mean, it's just basketball. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, like, I've thought about it so many times. This is what I want to do. Like, I love basketball. I wouldn't want to do anything else, and I want to get better and stuff like that. So, you know, I'm ready to take it on, hopefully.
Yeah, playing in college, it's a commitment, and you know what you're getting into when you're getting recruited. You know what it's going to be like, especially going on visits and stuff. The coaches will tell you straight up, like, this is what we do every morning, this is what we do every day. But I think the main important thing about being on a team is that you go to a team that's like a close-knit, like, family.
Mm-hmm.
And then before we wrap this up here, I know that you said earlier, like, you're using basketball to, like, get yourself farther and, like, get a free degree and all that. But, like, 4 years is a really long time to develop. Like, is there still, like, a hope down there that you guys, like, get it to the next level?
Like you know, like
Nah.
you, like people, like you can get recruited from D3 school to D1. Like, has that ever been a thought? Like, have you ever had a thought about maybe transferring, like redshirting Bryant, playing good in the AEC, whatever it is, and like trying to get into like the Big East or like the ACC?
I mean, I've always thought about that as a dream. Obviously, you know, that would be amazing. But I mean, we'll see what happens. You know, I'm a hard worker, and I know I'll put in the work day in and day out. So, I mean, I believe in myself at the end of the day, and we'll see what happens. But honestly, like, as far as that goes, we'll see. I don't really think so. I think after this 5 years of college, I'll probably hang it up, be like a YMCA type of guy.
Yeah, it's always been like my dream to go D1 too, but even then, like, my height, that wasn't gonna happen. And you know, D1, it's a big commitment too. But yeah, I mean, especially playing at Rick, they get a lot of attention because they're nationally ranked. So we'll see. I've seen some girls go to Rick like a couple of years and go to a D2 or low D1 or anything like that. So we'll see.
So yeah, just to like wrap it up, it's been an hour. It hasn't really felt like an hour, to be honest.
hasn't.
That was like
It's
all
been
W4.
good
Like,
chats,
we're going
yeah.
home now. But just before we go, is there anything you guys want to say to the probably just my girlfriend and my mom and Mariano's mom listening?
Tell Braden's mom I said hi.
All right.
Said thank you for having all of us over and probably spending an absurd amount of money on pizza.
Oh, dude. It was getting close.
And house damages from who broke the wall? Was that
Jackson broke
Conway?
my wall. Yep, hole in the wall.
Jackson Conway breaking the wall. Yeah. Shout out to Braden Healy's mom.
Anything from you, Jenna, or just wrapping it up?
Shout out to Brayden Healy's girlfriend, Lily Tokarski. We got lacrosse practice after school today, so I'll see her soon. But yeah, thank you for having us.
Of course.
Thank you guys for
Thank
having
you.
us.